It's absolutely obvious that we are in uncharted territories. There's never been so much adversity that we're going through as a complete society here in Australia and around the world. But the interesting part about adversity is that it's also matched with opportunity. We talk a fair bit about the power of polarity. If you're doing one thing, it means you're not doing the opposite thing, basically. So we often see great players of sport not necessarily become great coaches of sport, because by virtue of becoming a great player, you're not practicing your coaching skills. Same with in the corporate space. If you are an A-player salesperson and now you're a leader of salespeople, by virtue of you being a great player, you're not learning the skill of how do you create other people's ability to sell. So polarity is important here. And when we look at adversity, well, the opposite of that's probably opportunity. We all experience the same change, but there's an opportunity here to think in new and different ways and be creative. And it's really a time to unite and lean on each other. As leaders, this is the time to reach out. Don't think this is your job to solve everyone's problem in your team. It's quite the opposite. Two massive skills that are so important to your leadership arsenal right now: asking questions and collaborate, taking it to the team. What do you think? Get the solutions together, create the safety for people to speak openly and honestly, and don't think that it's on your back. That weight of responsibility and that pressure on your decision making could be very damaging to the performance and what comes out the other side of this, okay? And vulnerability and empathy. We know that practicing vulnerability and empathy are neurological magnets. They draw us in to communicate. These skills are super important as we navigate everything that's going on, your systems, your rituals, your team. It's just uncertain and it's going to create a lot of unsafety, but this is the time to unite, asking questions and collaborate, be vulnerable and practice empathy with your team. Now, important, have a couple of things here. The South Park Boys, very interesting. Every episode they've created for their 23 seasons started on a Thursday and airs on a Wednesday. Very short amount of time to create the idea, write the content, create the content, and then actually produce it so it's ready to air. What's interesting here is the time constraint on the creativity. Right now, we all have a time constraint. We're all trying to pivot and find a way to survive. What's interesting here is they put the time constraint on themselves to create that creativity. We often think that creative thinking takes a lot of time. It can be that way, but often if we compress the time, we actually come up with solutions and can be quite creative and innovative. And it's interesting that when you look at the innovation that we've seen over the last 10 years, we've seen industries born and broken. We've seen a giant like Blockbuster not innovate and look at the world in a different way, and streaming come in with Netflix taking over, okay? When we look at Apple, we don't even have we can have CDs and record players, but not really. It's all really virtual through our MP3 players. Again, it wasn't the music companies that created the innovation, it was a technology company. So here's a great opportunity to see the world differently. There's time constraints on our thinking. Be like the South Park Boys and let it run free, because there could be some opportunities inside of your organization to innovate and produce different things, because this is going to end. Let's be honest, this whole madness is going to end. And on the other side of it, what are you doing today to unite your team to potentially create something new? So on the other side of this, you are stronger. Opportunity through adversity.